Today we're talking about character. Whatever kind of character you have, that's the fruit you're going to produce in your life. The problem is people get mad at the results that they're getting. You want a successful business, but your character isn't disciplined or trustworthy enough to sustain it. You want a healthy relationship, but your character lacks patience and good communication. You want financial freedom, but your character, that has you blowing your paycheck and giving out more than you can afford. Here's the deal. We have to stop being mad at the fruit we're producing and start working on the character that's planting those seeds. I mean, think about it. An avocado seed can only grow avocados. An apple seed can only grow apples. And your character, that's the seed that's shaping your lifestyle. If you want better fruit, you got to plant better seeds. The Bible says in Luke 6:43-45, no good tree bears bad fruit, nor does a bad tree bear good fruit. Each tree is recognized by its own fruit. People don't pick figs from thorn bushes or grapes from briars. A good man brings good things out of the good stored up in his heart. And an evil man brings evil things out of the evil stored up in his heart. For the mouth speaks what the heart is full of. And oftentimes, people don't even have to hear you speak in order for them to see the evidence of the fruit you're producing in your life. What you do daily creates your outcome. And the results that you get in public are from the efforts that you practice in private. See, even though no one is watching, your actions, they will be accounted for. In order for a new thing to start this year, in order for a new thing to happen into your life, you need a solid foundation. Steve Harvey, he started his career living in his car for 3 years, performing stand-up comedy in small clubs. And I'm sure he had a moment where he said to himself, this is not the dream that I had. This is not the life that I dreamed of. I'm supposed to be on a big stage. Yet he worked on his craft, using every opportunity to perform and improve. And that led through his breakthrough in comedy, television, and film. Now, how can something like this happen? Well, good character will build you up in every season. With good character, adversity shapes your endurance. With good character, success gives you honor and respect. See, when you have good character, you produce good fruit no matter the season. The lack of motivation won't stop good character. The fear of success won't stop good character. The lack of resources won't stop good character. Negative opinions or thoughts that won't stop good character. Setbacks won't stop good character. Winning won't stop good character. The lack of support won't stop good character. Limited time won't stop good character. Today is a short series on the 3 traits that produce good character to get the outcome that you desire. Because when you have a solid character, you naturally drive positive results. The first trait in building good character are your principles. Principles are the foundation to your belief system. They shape your perspective. They're the strategies towards achieving goals. Essentially, they act as the rules and the laws that teach you how to behave. Principles are not just something you believe, but it's what you live out. And the question I want to ask you today is, what principles are you standing on? You know, for me, the principles that I stand on is rooted in Christ Jesus. The God I serve is the God of promises. If he said it, it's going to come to pass. He's the Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end. He knows me by name. He understands the detail of my purpose, and he gives me a guide, the Bible, where his principles are clearly laid out. Biblical principles about investing, business, relationships, and mindset. Everything that I need to know is found in the Bible. And the word is the tool to overcome opposition. The word is the medicine that I can't overdose on. The word is the book of wisdom. The word is the knowledge that I draw from when I'm teaching from the stage. The word teaches me how to pray. And there's something about prayer that can literally change things for us. Research shows that when you invest just 12 minutes of daily focused prayer over an 8-week period, it can lead to measurable changes in your brain. I love playing games with my friends, especially Taboo. Now, the rules in this game are very clear. No saying words on the card, no saying rhymes with, no pointing, and other specific guidelines. And as long as I'm staying within those boundaries, guess what? I have the authority to play. In fact, knowing that I'm following those rules builds my character and it increases my chances of winning. That's what principles are about. Knowing that I'm operating within his plans and his purpose for me and his promises for me, my life gets access. My life gains authority to be successful. Now, if we can be honest, most of us are not standing on principles that are timeless truths. Instead, we often stand on weak principles that crumble under pressure or that change depending on the circumstances. So there are two types of principles that you can stand on. You can stand on timeless principles, which are truths that withstand the test of time, or you can stand on weak principles, principles that are subject to change. Timeless principles say with investing, spread investments to manage risk. Weak principles say put all your eggs in one basket to maximize return. Timeless principles say with your business, conduct business with fairness and honesty. Weak principles say do whatever it takes to win. Timeless principles say with your health, prioritize rest for physical and mental renewal. Weak principles say sleep is for the weak, grind 24/7. Timeless principles say with your relationships, build relationships on unconditional love and grace. Weak principles say only invest into people who can do something for you. Timeless principles say with your mindset, be grateful for what you have while striving for excellence. Weak principles say you'll be happy when you have more. The law that you choose to stand on will determine the authority and access to the things you desire. See, that means that the principles that you practice to get the job will also be the principles that you practice to get the promotion. That means that honesty isn't the best policy to teach your kids, but it's the best policy to keep great relationships. That means that the effort that you put into learning a new skill will also be the effort that you put in to turn it into mastery. Principles that are timeless truths equal good character. Weak principles don't work that way. The principles you carry out, it can put you in action mode or inaction. It can have you playing safe or giving it your all. That's because the arena of your principles control your mental game and guide your actions. See, when you focus on the right kind of principles, it changes your thought life. And when you can change the way you think, you can change the way you feel. And if you can change your mental game, you can align it with your goals and you take massive action in the right direction. And ultimately, that's when it becomes a game changer. Whatever kind of principles you have will produce your character. So I want you to begin to think about this. What do you want to have authority over and gain access to? Once you identify it, remember this. The path to achieving it is simpler than you think. It all starts with the principles that you choose to build upon. The second trait that produces good character are your values. So underneath your principles are your values. Values are your personal beliefs about what's important or meaningful to you. It's what you prioritize. Intentionally or unintentionally, it is what you find yourself doing often. And oftentimes our values, they stem from life experiences, such as the way we were raised, our successes, failures, environment, society, relationships. These factors are important, but the more you're able to connect the dots between your values and your principles, the stronger your character becomes. So for example, the Bible has so many principles for success. And depending on what you want to achieve personally, your intention should be to align your values with those principles. So I recommend that you choose a principle that you can personalize into a value so it becomes meaningful to the outcome that you want to produce. So for example, you might focus on the principle of forgiveness and grace in your marriage, which lies in be kind and compassionate to one another, forgiving each other, just as Christ God forgave you, Ephesians 4:32. So my value might be gracious. Make sure our words always speak truth and love, while our tone remains approachable and digestible. Does that make sense? So this doesn't just impact better communication. It helps build character. It creates meaningful connections and shows you care for one another. What about healing? Let's say you have sickness or disease in your body and you want to be delivered from that. Well, my principles say faith moves mountains. So my value might be have faith, trust in God's timing and his ability to bring restoration while taking steps to care for my body and my spirit with patience and gratitude. This doesn't just help me develop endurance in my process, but it strengthens my trust. It brings peace and clarity to my heart and keeps me anchored in hope. See, the difference between good values and bad values are clear. Good values build character. Bad values focus on external validation. Good values are rooted in timeless truths. Bad values are not based on solid principles. Good values foster meaningful connection. Bad values, they damage relationships. Good values lead to lasting fulfillment. Bad values are driven by short-term goals. Good values guide decision-making. Bad values create internal conflict. Good values encourage well-being. Bad values prioritize your ego over your purpose. Good values promote peace and clarity. Bad values compromise integrity. See, here's the deal. Our outcomes are molded by what we choose to value most. Here's another thing. Good values are fueled by living true to your purpose. So you should know that your values, they're not motivated by results. Rather, they are fueled by living true to your purpose. Salmon, they're born in freshwater streams, but they spend most of their lives in the ocean. And when it's time for them to reproduce, they will face the incredible challenging journey of swimming back to the exact same place that they were born. Now, this journey requires immense perseverance. They have to fight through powerful currents, leap over obstacles like waterfalls, and avoid bears. The power of values lies in your ability to carry out an unwavering commitment to the purpose you were meant to fulfill. But most people, they don't stay true to that instinct. And maybe it's because you had a child unexpectedly and your priorities shifted. You experienced a heartbreak from a relationship that left your confidence bankrupt. You missed opportunities from your youth and you can't seem to let that regret go. You carry the guilt of poor decisions from your past, or the mounting stress to perform has drained your spirit. When these things happen, it is so easy for us to feel diminished, to think that you lost your way. But instead of becoming less, this is your call to embrace more. More courage, more resilience, more firmness in your values to achieve what is expected of your purpose. No matter how treacherous your journey becomes, you got to remember you got a purpose. And the quickest way to kill disappointment is to fight your way upstream. And this might feel uncomfortable at first, but eventually you'll realize I'm made for this pain because I found my purpose in it. Eventually you'll realize that my proudest moments didn't come from the easy path, but from standing firm in what was right. Eventually you'll see that that pain that you endured was refining you for something greater. And when you look back, you'll realize that was the moment that I rose. That was the moment that I thrived. That was the moment that I stepped fully in the life I was meant to live. And finally, in good character, your identity holds greater significance than anything you will ever achieve. I remember when I made the USA track and field team and I became the sixth fastest man in the world at IAAF World Championships in Berlin. I was amongst the top 1% of athletes in the world. Track was all I knew, and winning was what I lived for. One season stood in the way between me and a multi-million-dollar deal. But my senior year in college, it took an unexpected turn for the worse. I suffered a devastating injury in my career. I tore my rectus femoris, my quad muscle. In my final season, I didn't make it to nationals for the first time in my career. And I wasn't just an injured athlete. I was a captain on the team. And I still had a mission to fulfill in my role as a captain, as a leader. My personal goals were gone, but I still had work to do. And the truth is, when I lost my ability to run, I no longer knew who I was. I had placed my entire identity in one area of my life. And when I no longer could do it, I hit rock bottom. I'll never forget my coach and my teammates. They invited me to go to nationals to support them. And I found myself being stuck in a battle of pride. I wrestled with disappointment and shame and this sense of unworthiness. And I waited until the very last day to tell them I wasn't coming. In fact, they had to call me and ask me, was I going to arrive? See, my actions expose the cracks in the foundation of my character. My character showed me what I cared most about. I put success over integrity. My character showed me that at the end of the day, when it's more about winning, when it's more about success, you lose credibility. You lose the character that will shape your success for your life. It cost me. It cost me the opportunity to show my teammates what true resilience looked like. It cost me a chance to leave a legacy of character over talent. It cost me. See, when we care more about our goals than our values, it costs us more than we will ever think or imagine. It costs you operating in integrity. It costs you bending your principles for a quick win. It costs you a momentary high for lasting fulfillment. It costs you relationships and bonds that matter. It costs you idolizing rewards over dignity and respect. It costs you your peace of mind, and it costs you authenticity. When the spirit of pride takes over, it's hard to maintain good character. But when you act from the spirit of good values, your shortcomings can elevate you. So what do you do when you fall out of alignment with your values? Or maybe you don't know what your values are? Well, I say it's time to take ownership. Not just for your mistake, but make amends to make things right. Commit to rebuilding your character and demonstrating growth, because the world needs more courageous people who will rise and thrive in their shortcomings. It's not about what you've been through, but it's about how you respond from this moment on that will define the rest of your life. I want to leave you with some instructions on how you can create good values. 1, identify your priorities. What is the most important priority this season? And think about in your life, where do you want to grow? Where do you want to create the most impact? 2, align with a principle. What principles guide you on how you should conduct yourself in this area? Look for timeless truths. And 3, define a practical value. What is a specific, actionable value you can stand on to ensure you fulfill the purpose with good character? To recap, principles control your thought life. Values define your priorities. Let your principles be the compass that directs your actions, and your values be the anchor that keeps you grounded. Today, we discussed the 2 traits that produce good character. Next week, we're going to talk about the final trait that will help you put your principles and your values into practice. Here's my thriving thought of the week. Let me remind you, your story is still being written. But you can't get caught up into yesterday's pages. You never make it to the next chapter. Last time I checked, seasons change. And I recommend that you develop yourself, because what seemed impossible last year has nothing on the possibilities of tomorrow. I want to encourage you that your start to a second chance begins when you hold your head up. And I want to give you this pen because I imagine if you could be anything, you would write your wildest dreams on the page. Your story is still being written, and the best chapters are the ones you have yet to write. The affirmation I want to leave you with today is this: my character is a reflection of my values and beliefs I live out daily. I'm Charles Clark, and make your day as great as you want it to be, but make sure you consider just how precious your life is. You don't have tomorrow. All you got is right now. So don't let the door hit you on the way out. Get up, get moving, get happy. Rise and thrive. Peace out.